All right, we are live. Okay. Uh, 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 uh.
But it was erected after the stories of Mothman.
That.
Yeah, yeah. Mothman.
Where is it?
There's a Mothman. Mothman.
Where is it? Face what now? What about my face? What's his name?
Mothman.
Where is it?
There's a Mothman. Mothman.
Where is it? Face what now? What about my face? What's his name?
Mothman.
Where is it?
There's a Mothman.
Where is it? What about my face?
Mothman. There's a Mothman. Mothman.
What about my face? What's his name? Hey, everybody. Welcome to GDP Live. I'm your host, Pat. What's going on, Ron? Pounding off in the comments early up. This is GDP Live. I'm your host, Pat George. It's Monday. We're here in the Dobby Waberston Memorial Caddick, and I'm so happy that you guys have joined me. Good morning. Good week. I hope everybody had a nice, safe holiday. I hope everybody, whatever it may be, I hope you didn't travel too far. I hope it wasn't too big of a gathering, but I'm not here to judge. Let's not start this week out like that. No stress. We're all good. Everybody's here to have a good time. We're here to have a fun, good time together. So I just wanted to remind everybody that's watching, please, if you are watching, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Pound off in the comments on YouTube if you'd like. Live, I have that open here. I got the comments open live here for Instagram Live as well. If you want to ask to join on Instagram Live, you will be audio only on YouTube, and that is the only video I save. And if you're pounding off in the comments, pound off while you get the chance, because I do erase that video from Instagram Live. So anybody that's pounding off there, it will be fleeting, your comments. So so join in and please enjoy the camaraderie. You know, we like to have debates. We like to debate about what type of music we like. Like I said, I had some additions to the Slappy Boppers playlist. The link is in the description for the YouTube video here. So check that out if you have a Spotify account. I appreciate everybody watching. I want to let everybody know that's watching. I did an episode of What About with Andy and Pat last night. It was a lot of fun. We talked about Slipknot's first album, which is, I believe, just self-titled. It was that's one that came out in 1999. That was my pick. I suggested it to Andy when I found out that Andy's introduction to Slipknot was I think their third album. It was something like that. One of the albums that, like, I'm not. It's not that I'm not a fan of, but it was one that I was kind of I was like, well, if you have and found out that he had not heard their first album. That was the point where I was like, okay, well, you like, that's because we were talking about Limp Bizkit on the episode before. Again, check that out. The playlist is here on Baby Mermaid Productions on YouTube. If you go down their playlist, you got past episodes of GDP Live, other episodes of Gross Domesticated Podcast that aren't just the live ones. There's also a playlist for Falls Count Anywhere. They had their 100th show this weekend on Christmas. We tried to do a stream through Facebook, but it wasn't available. So we ended up just doing it through Instagram, if you caught that. And we did a live round of pre-pro PWI with special guest Lemaire Lee. He was in the Caddick, and we had two chips. So the two losers of pre-pro PWI had to eat one of the Pocky Chip Challenge super hot chips that comes in the special package. That episode has premiered today. That is out. That came out at 12 o'clock this morning. that is also here on Baby Mermaid Productions. Check that out. Also, audio only version wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you go to, excuse me, Jesus. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We did 2 live streams on Christmas Day. We did GDP Live on Friday. And big shout out to Ian Strong. I'm sure he'll be here a little bit later, so I'll talk to him, I'm sure. But he's been pounding off. He's been pretty consistently joining the show. And luckily he joined the show on Friday, Christmas Day, Christmas morning, really. Dom and I were live streaming here from the Dobby Robertson Memorial Caddick, where we were lamenting the fact that unfortunately we had goofed and we didn't get plantains. We were going to have the panil or pernil, as we kept calling it on FCA, which is just basically a delicious, I call it Puerto Rican ham. It's incredible. We had rice and beans. We usually have tostones, which I call pantalones. Everything is, it's all in good fun. We're not, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's delicious. Dom doesn't necessarily know how to pronounce it either. We don't necessarily exactly know what to call it. It's pork shoulder. It's delicious. She makes it incredible. She has all of the recipes are. We actually ended up having an international dinner because kind of partially of our doing because of our dessert choice, but also because the fact that we lost our plantains, not lost, we're not able to acquire plantains. Dom was talking about it on Friday, and Ian offered the fact that he had some potatoes, and I honestly wasn't sure if he was joking or not. So after the show, I made sure to turn my ringer on just to make sure that everybody, just in case, like if he did end up saying like, "Hey, did you actually need those potatoes?" I could be like, come on, man, it's Christmas. You don't have to do that. He was happy to do it. He just showed up. Speaking of lamenting, he was sharing with me that he was upset afterwards that he wishes he had thought of it at the time during the live, when he was just sharing that information during the live stream. He said, I could have just, he's like, I've been here before. I did the episode of Falls Count Anywhere. He was here in the studio from the before times. He was kind enough to show up here in the Caddick and do an episode. He also, so he's like, I had your address. He's like, I could have just showed up. It would have been so cool. And then asked to join on Facebook Live from your porch, essentially, show up. And I was like, oh, of course that would have been. But he still surprised us after the show. He showed up, FaceTime me, and was essentially how he was talking about doing it on Instagram Live, and said, and it said basically that he had an extra. What's up, John? He had an extra bag of potatoes. So he already had an extra bag of potatoes, and was kind enough to bring over the thing. So we ended up having a triple international Thanksgiving feast. We had Spanish, we had Puerto Rican ham, we had potato pancakes from Germany. And we had Italian dessert in tiramisu. All handmade by the wonderful wife George, the incredible Dominique, wife of mine, my wife. What's going on, John? Incredible feast. Was no Carson Wentz feast, but it was still one of those. It was like a straight up athletic achievement in her, like the fact that like she, and then also to pivot like that, to be like, oh, all of a sudden let's just do potato pancakes. She loves making them. It was awesome. What's up, Cupcake? Charles pounding off in the comments. Going on, buddy baby? I just feel like there's I don't know. I think there's a nice community that we're building here. In potato, I called him the potato savior. He's Santa Strong, Ian Strong words with Ian Strong. If you're listening to this, you're interested in anything. I think he even joined in once and played the. He joined in again. Wasn't necessarily always pounding off in the comments, but he's joined in a couple times he's played piano. He's a jack of all trades. He's a GDPer for life. Shout out to John for that. You know what I mean? Had a Caucasian Christmas feast. What you have, Charles? Was it turkey? For the longest time I had the worst. Not the worst, I guess. Not the worst experience. I guess the in a lot of ways it was kind of like not the bare minimum. I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like one of those things of like it was always traditional. Every part of it was like traditional. There was no and that was the thing was early on I found out there was like I almost made the same mistake that we fucking there was one year that my mom got a different kind of stuffing, like the box stuffing. It was like instead of turkey stuffing, it was I think cornbread stuffing or something or whatever it was like. And the thing was it was kind of like GD pound or the pounders. Yeah. I'm thinking, yeah, I like that. John Montag's pounding off in the comments. I'm thinking GD peepers or maybe the pounders. I would see this is the thing. I wanted to I was even thinking GD peeps. You know what I mean? GD peeps. GD peeps. Hey, there we go. GD peeps. We got a little call. As long as that's not going to be misinterpreted for like a gang call or something like that, I think we're okay, right? We should be fine. It should be okay. Who knows? This is what Charles had. Mashed taters, some shit called baked corn. What the fuck is baked corn? Isn't that cornbread? Isn't baked corn cornbread? Ham and mad other white shit. Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying is like when it's all traditional, like you gotta throw some shit in there, and that's no diss to like. Again, I've done this many times where I've said like many conversations I've had with Dom where like I'm not. It's so funny because it's like it's almost like sometimes when I talk about the way I ate growing up is like child abuse, but it's not. It was food. It was good food. It was like one of those things. My mom's mac and cheese is one of the like greatest mac and cheese, but it's not. It doesn't mean that trying something a little bit different, like just a different perspective. GD pounders, yeah. The poundies, pounderoos. I don't know. We're trying to figure out what to call. Well, I don't want to say fans because it's not. We're friends. We're family, really. You know what I mean? But like we're GD peeps. Like that's what we're all on the same page, like we are. Like that's the thing is I don't need I got a scathing review on YouTube. It was a very negative comment, and it's fine because it's I'll take any criticism as constructive criticism. If you notice, I'm trying to make sure that I speak in full sentences and maybe take my time speaking because there's people out here. I need to be the way other people want me to be. If I be myself, then who's gonna like that? Nobody's gonna like that, right? No. I'm letting we all decide what we're called. It's a vote. You know what I mean? I got the mic, but anybody can pound off. Anybody's pounding off. That's what pounding off is. Share. If you don't like what I'm saying, there's a lot of times that we're figuring out me and Premium Ron, we see on almost the same exact, not the same exact level, I guess. But we're talking about this is what's bringing us to our Photoshop today. Again, shout out to AskPro and Art Dick, John Montag, the associate producer and art director of GDP. He's the one of the founders of GD Peepers, as far as the term people that watch the show or join in, pound off, GD Pounders, the Pounders. Premium Ron's thinking of merch ideas. He's helping me out with some graphics. You know what I mean? Like this is a community. It's not just it's not fans, they're people. So like when I say pound off, good or bad. I want pounding. I want people to pound no matter what. I want peeps to pound all day long. I want people pounded, up, down, all around. Pound it out in the comments. We'll work it out. Peeper sounds pettyish. Oh, yeah. I can see that. Kevin Brocious. Pounding off early. I want to wait. I want to wave to everybody, but I can't reach it. So I'll just wave literally. Look, see? I'm waving to everybody. I don't get the opportunity because I'm all the way over here, but I can read it here. Don't you worry. I gotcha. Who knows? Crack the fuck up. Abdir started to riot when I saw the green bean casserole. Oh, wow, yeah. Green now, okay. Now see, green bean casserole, you can there is that's something that I do enjoy. See, I'm a guy that'll be like, oh, I don't want a turkey. I want I'll do prime rib, but I'll still do like green bean casserole and like all the other shit. You know? Like Patty's pounding peepers. Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, now I'm hearing what Charles was talking about. Now I'm hearing what Charles was talking about with what you said, John. John's pounding off. We're trying to figure out. Okay, so you're pounding off in the comments. The point is, I got a comment on a past episode of GDP live, and it's from it. Like, I don't know how to break this to everybody, honestly, and I don't know. I'm not even sure what we're gonna do. Like when it comes to like from here, like where do we go from here now that we don't have? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. Guys, I think we lost Tom too. I'm very sorry to say that Tom 2 is no longer with GDP. He's no longer GDPer. I don't think. I honestly, I hope to God we could keep him. But to Tom 2, I think his name is capital T, lowercase THOM 2. He commented. Okay. I can do this, guys. He commented, "Hey, have you ever tried talking in complete sentences? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You should give it a shot sometime. ... Double ellipses. You wouldn't sound so stupid." Not a fan. Or maybe he is. But I gotta say, if you're coming here for somebody that doesn't sound stupid, that's on you. We're stupid here. That's why we have the word of the day. That's why we check out the spelling bee. Part 2 is up here on the playlist right now. Go to Gross Domesticated Podcast playlist podcast right here on Baby Mermaid Productions. Period. Is that a full sentence? You know what I mean? But Tatham 2 will be missed. I mean, that guy's got he's got 8 subscribers. Like he's not playing around. This guy likes a lot of videos and provides none. But any criticism is constructive criticism. Period. I'm going to start another sentence now. See? You're right. That's much better. Lots of pregnant pauses. This is what I wanted everything to be molded by people. I want people to listen to the show and then to tell me everything you hate about it. So then I'll just not do those things just so that you're happy. Because honestly, if this was like Tatham 3 or Tatham 4 or 5, then I'd be like, who gives a shit? But this is Tatham 2. So what am I going to do? Tatham 2, we coming for y'all. Get ready to pound it off onto or undo. Premium Rom's pounding off. What's going on, Premium Rom? I can't reach to wave, but I'm doing it right here. He's not somebody that follows on age. I'm assuming it's Tatham, and I'm gendering Tatham too, as in Tatham, you probably are. I'm assuming it's Tom, or it's Tatam. I don't know. I don't know how I don't know how Tom talks, period. But it's cool. You know, I liked it. I like that comment. He didn't dislike the video. Like why, like, he doesn't produce content. Like, immediately I was like, well, then let me see how Tatham talks. Let me go to his channel. And then I go there, and then it says this motherfucker doesn't offer anything except for bullshit opinions and comments. So cool. Why do you have an account? Like, you have an account just so you can like or not like videos? Like, well, you didn't even dislike the video. So you don't dislike me, but you do, like, that's why I was saying, I think it's just, you have to assume in this case, positive intent for sure, because he's just giving me a note as a viewer. He's not a GDPer, that's for sure. So I don't know. Double ellipses. I'll just announce where the punctuations are, but I just talk fast. Again, that's how I know he's not a GDPer. He knows that, like, he doesn't know that I'm on my third cup of coffee on an empty stomach. I don't eat until after the show. I'm fucking fired out of a fucking cannon every day. And the more people that join, the faster, the more I want to talk to them. So yeah, I get excited. And the more I want to say, the more I want to get out my points while I get to share their points. So if you don't like it, Tatham too, get the fuck out. But if you're coming here for somebody that doesn't sound stupid, you're in the wrong fucking place, dude. I sound stupid all the time. Again, shout out to the fucking Xmas Spelling Bee. Part 3's coming Instagram live today. Not live, sorry. Instagram account today. Part 3 will be on YouTube a little bit later on in the week. Check it out. Follow at Baby Murmur. See? It doesn't matter if it's a full sentence, half a sentence, part of a word, or a whole word. I didn't know how to spell niece, spoiler alert. John didn't get that point necessarily either, because he thought I spelled it right. So if you're calling me stupid, you're calling the GDPer stupid. And I personally, I don't give a shit. I don't know about you guys. I don't give a fuck. I'm a GDPer. I'm stupid every day of my life, brother. Doesn't mean I'm not trying to be better, but I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? You don't even have videos to comment on, dude. Come on, I want to hear how you sound. What's the full sentences we use? What does Tom have to say about that? About it? Well, I don't know, but no, I haven't talked to Tom one yet. The first part of the conversation, Premium Rounds pounding off in the comments. I feel like I missed the first part of a good conversation. It's basically just we lost Tom too. Tatham too. He not a fan. He made sure to comment and to let me know. On again, this is what I'm wondering. This might be like a trend. I thought this is why I thought I did a little research. I was like, is this like a Star Wars nerd? Because it was I titled the episode Mandalorian because that's what we ended up talking about a lot of the episode. But that I didn't know, like I didn't know where I went wrong. But I don't want to. I need to make sure that I'm speaking in complete sentences, or I should try it. See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't dislike the video. He's offering me a thing that would make me sound less stupid. Who doesn't want to sound less stupid? Question mark. See, I sound way less stupid right now. See, it's harder to muzzle because I am highly caffeinated and I'm very excited to talk with my friends. But, but hey, Thom too wants me to fucking chill out, guys. He wants to leash up this dog. Okay. I got to listen to the people because that's the thing. That's how I know you grow your audience. You listen to the people. This is the only way I know. I have to. You're here for the farts. Hell yeah, Kev. Kevin Brosh is pounding off everywhere. He's everywhere right now. It's cool. I'm here for it. I want to know what if what kind of sentences do you want me to I think I did a thing the other day where I said something about anagram and they said no, that's a synonym, and I said nope, that's what you put on your eggnog, stupid. Kind of joking. Wasn't sure. I was like, oh, I thought he said cinnamon. I thought he said cinnamon. Like I thought he slipped up. I said again, I think it's in part 2 if I'm correct, John. Pound off if I'm incorrect. I spelled menorah menorah by accident. I added an I at the beginning of the word. There's not an I anywhere in it, John points out. Check out the spelling bee, dude. Check out one other video on anywhere on the channel, and you're not gonna understand. Like you're not gonna understand much, and you're gonna go, oh, he's just stupid. That's why he sounds stupid, because he's stupid. That's okay. I'm not offended because he said I sound stupid. I'm offended because like you sound stupid because you came here for somebody that doesn't sound stupid. Like that, like I kind of like that. I want everybody to be like poor. That's why I'm saying we lost this guy, because like I obviously was not able to. You can't grow your audience if you're sounding stupid for people that don't want you to sound stupid. I mean, you know what I mean? Question mark. We got some pounding off in the comments here. What's next? Is he going to tell you to start spelling words correct? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, what the fuck? John Montag, great point. What do you want from me? Do you want me to spell words right? It's never gonna happen. Do you want me to not sound stupid? Never gonna happen, probably, maybe. You know, I'm going to stumble on some good points for sure, because I don't stop talking. We got original Ron pounding off. You are doing the Lord's work. I try. Ron Kane's doing the Lord's work. DNR podcast. They're talking to the Spanish dude. I don't want to give away too much. Also, I don't remember a lot of the details, and I don't want to be like this Mexican dude that's whatever. But he was a guy that he's a guy who has a show that I believe is trying to. He thinks that the ultra left is taking over the comic book universe. If I remember correctly, that's like I remember that's that being a detail. I listened to it like the day before Christmas, and then like Christmas was such a fucking blur that I was just like, I forget every detail of it. But I would like to say it is a very interesting podcast. Make sure that you listen. But see, that's the thing. Dumb. Oh, no, I got it right. Okay. See, not as dumb as you think, guys. Curveball. Dog leg. Speaking of dog leg, by the way, Don got me a portable little disc golf thing. See that? Little disc golf pin that I can set up anywhere I goddamn want, no matter how stupid I am. And the first thing I thought of was doing a dog leg. I want to do a dog leg somewhere. I want to challenge myself. So you get this little launcher thing and these little discs, and you're actually supposed to play straight up like indoor. You can set up your own courses. This, when I actually, again, shout out to Thom too for being so what's the word, astute. I'm a pretty dumb guy. I get the fact that this is like this is she got me this from like Etsy or something like that, and I'm like, oh, this is like actual, like you can actually play the game indoors. It's kind of like a Lego set. Like you get this little launcher thingy, you play indoor disc golf. Look at that. Pandemic approved. Set up my own little course, take pictures. Great gift. Incredible gift. But things like that will, obviously shiny. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden I forget about what, with the Spanish dude that Ron and Damien are talking to on the DNR podcast. But all I can say is it's a great conversation. It was a cool, you guys are good interviewers, by the way. Like it was a cool conversation to especially the fact that like the guy was up at like 2:00 in the morning because it's like he's in fuck, where was it? God, you know what? Listen to the episode. What am I doing? I'm not gonna just give away all the details to that episode. It was a very interesting episode. With a you guys are very multicultural and international, and you got a lot of German listeners, you got some Ukrainian listeners, and you got some Spanish guests. It was a great episode, so check that out. Also, actually, Panties in the Mouth with Andy Malafarina and Nate Marshall. That podcast, that's one that I really like listening to when I'm like going on like walks and stuff like that. Maybe it's just because they're my pals, but like it's fun. It makes me it's always a like fun conversation. You get Dirty Nate, you get Vanilla Andy, and that's not to do with his race. Check that out as well. He's from Spain. Okay, Spain. Yeah. So I said Spanish guy because he's from Spain, right? Is that right? That's culturally right. Check that out. Also check out Boy in His Fridge with Mike O'Donnell and Manny Santiago of Falls Count Anywhere fame. And I said it right. I said Falls Count Anywhere, not everywhere. See that? Falls Count Anywhere every Monday. Not so stupid anymore, Thom 2. But just Christmas, like I said, was such a blur that I want to make sure that I do truly thank everybody for that. That does pound off all the GD peepers, all the GD pounders, all the GD poopies, peepees, all the peepees. You know what I mean? Like, is peepees even a like? Why not just peepees? Because we all pee or we all piss ourselves, right? John Montag's pounding off. Do I need to meme Merc someone, or who is Thom 2? Someone someone fill me in. No, it's not even that's the point. Like that's the point. I appreciate that premium run. That's fucking awesome, and that would be great to do that, but there's no way to do it because there's nothing to do it. Like it was a YouTube comment. It's a thing that I do take those things personally because I'm the most genuine me as I can be on these things. So when somebody says a thing but when they say a thing that they're like, they think they're insulting you, like he was trying to get one over on me. That's the thing that bothers me. And then ultimately what makes them win, because I'm talking about it. He got me. He had me thinking about it. I made the mistake of reading it right before bed. So it kind of eats away at you. It's not like I'm dreaming of all the thumbs in my sugar plum thumbs in my head or anything like that. But yeah, like shit like that was one of those things where like, oh, hey, fucking stupid. He's so stupid. Like it's so uninspired, especially, and to say like, dude, get like 3 more minutes in, and I probably will refer to myself as a stupid asshole. Because it's one of those things. It's being self-aware of it, being comfortable. I believe it was Bert Kreischer that has a comedy special, Comfortably Dumb. That's the best way to describe me. I identify as comfortably dumb. It's okay. Like I get, you got to find your lane. You gotta, you either I'm gonna go into cryptid hunting, which is fine. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are like, they're already call you dumb. So if people are already going to call you dumb, if you're already got the diagnosis, go for it. Hop on over. And you know what? I believe in that shit. A lot of people, ghost hunting, stuff like that. It's so funny. I just saw a thing on YouTube for Ghost Adventures. I'm assuming a special that they did with the new owners of Joe Exotic's Tiger Farm. And I think they were talking about possibly and this is just the assumption. I did not watch the video, but the only assumption, because I'm like, what would the ghost hunting element of this be? And the only thing I can think of is, are they going to try to do an investigation to try to talk to the husband of Carol fucking Baskins? And then I'm like, shit, I'm on board. I'm stupid. That's the point. I feel bad for Thom to have that negative energy in you. Because that's the thing is if you stick around, you can laugh at me with me. It's fun. You say I'm dumb. I go, "Yep, I get it." But that's the point, Ron, is he's not memeable because because when I get these comments, I go, well, let me see what you're putting out there. Let me see what you got. Like, cause that's the same thing. Somebody follows me. I go, let me see what you got. Like, if you have something, I want to follow you back. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Don't give a shit. Like, there's no, like, if there is some kind of thing for like, oh, you have this many follows to this many, people following you or whatever. Like, I don't know if there's any kind of equation there, and I don't really give a shit because that's not how I want to build that's not how I want to build an audience as far as a group of people that all can help contribute. Like Ron, we got premium Ron that helps with does those sweet fucking portraits. He's talking about helping design merch. I don't know how serious you were about that. I'm fucking dead serious about that. I love your work, John. Also, another person who I really appreciate his composition as far as like photoshops and his sense of humor. He gets it. That's why I like working with these people. These are the people you're going to find on the network also. That's the thing is you don't understand that. That's the point. Listen, Thom too is is getting what he wants. He's in your craw. Oh, craw. He's a nobody, and you're spreading his name further than he ever could. We don't let shitty dudes come in the kitchen and try to cook. That's absolutely right, John. That's a great point. As pro Art Dick John Montag, Montague spelled Montag said, follow him, Montague Comedy, on Instagram, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a great way to sum it up. Is oh wow. So I would say, sorry, pounding off in the comments. If again, join in, check it out. Instagram live at Baby Mermaid Productions. Again, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do agree with John, but that's the point. Is that when, like, I just want that to be clear. I want it to be clear, and if full sentences make it clearer, I am a stupid man. Full stop. There we go. Now we can get to the debate of, is it GD peepers or GD pounders? Is it pounders? Is it peeps? Is it peepees? Is it pounding peeps? Again, peeps was brought up. A point was brought up by Charles. Maybe, that could be pedo-ish is, I believe, the term. That could be true, but I don't care. That's fine. We have more important things to talk about. Ian Strong not only pounded off in the pounders all day. I'm only sure down for helping where I can. I'll send some files over soon. Oh, wow. Hey, appreciate it. Pounding off. We got both Rons pounding off back to back. We got OG Ron, pounders. He likes pounders. GD pounders. Or just pounders, I guess. Oh, wow. See, John, I think you're right. I think he came in with is it peeps, pounders, GD peeps? You're my GD peeps. You know what I mean? But these are pounders. You want to be a pounder? Join us live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Usually a little bit after 11 because I'm usually trying to type things. Again, another red flag of the dumbness. But as we were talking about the Christmas stream, and that we were missing those, we were saved by the potato savior, Ian Strong, who oftentimes is a pounder of the GDP variety. And he brought over a bag of potatoes, and and that obviously led to, because we were talking about hash browns, we're talking about breakfast, we're talking about breakfast for dinner, other stuff, and we're just talking about, like, I was thinking the entire time we were talking, I was like, we could do almost an entire show just on talking about breakfast. Yeah. John, well, that's absolutely what we did. John's pounding off in the comments right now. He said, did we just somehow create a subsection of a made up group of goofballs? I'm here for it, baby. Pounders. How else? Like what? I was talking about audience. Who the fuck were we talking about? Oh, it was on, actually, that's funny. It was on the most recent episode of What About with Andy and Pat, when we were talking about the first Slipknot album, and how much like the fan, like when we saw clowns, it was musical clowns immediately draw me away from it. Like I want to just not talk about that. I don't want to have anything to do with when you see the clown. That's what initially I was like, I don't think I'm going to check out fucking Slipknot. I don't really. And then you heard that first album, at least as somebody who I love like metal and shit like that. Heavy metal and punk are both like huge loves of mine. So so when I hear something like that, I'm like, holy shit. And it initially sparked the conversation was on our Limp Bizkit episode when I said that I believe that they are rap metal, not necessarily rap rock. And another example I think of rap metal would be like Slipknot's first album. I don't know necessarily after that, but their first album for sure has a lot of those elements. Late 90s, early 2000s, real Limp Bizkit-y vibes. Not necessarily the Slipknot album, but it's oftentimes the fans can kind of turn you away from the group. That's why ICP fans turned me so much away from ICP that even the mention of a clown, even in a band that is everybody's telling me this band's tough as shit. They rule. and I'm like, nah. I finally listened to him. Holy fuck. So that was that you're kind of you're drawn away by like that, and their fans are known as maggots. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't want to be so like that's the thing. Is like if I wear a Slipknot shirt, then people are gonna say like, "Hey, you're a maggot." You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. Like it's way cooler to have somebody come up to you and say like, "Hey, you're a pounder." You know what I mean? Pounder all day, or I guess like GDP. I don't know. We got to have like a hootie hoo, but like a GDP. Casey's here. What's up? She's a pounder. We're thinking of what to call people that are fans of, not fans of, again, what friends of the show of GDP, pounders, GDPeeps, GDP. Tool rules. Tool fans are the worst. Yes, I totally agree with that. I used to date a girl who was like a huge Tool fan, and surprise, surprise, she was a huge Tool. Like she was one of the people that would say, and I can't reach the wave, but I'm waving right now, Casey. How's it going? But there is she was one of the people that originally explained to me, oh, you have to see Tool live. They're awesome. You should also do drugs. Like do drugs and see them live. Now I get it. Sure. But like I was always like, well, why do I have to do drugs to go enjoy this band? Why can't they just be good? Like there's plenty of bands that I've seen, not even fully sober, but even like kind of buzzed, like maybe I have a beer or something. But a lot of the bands I saw early on was well under the age that I could drink legally, and even some of them well under the age that I could hide it good enough to do that. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was more important to go see the music than it was anything else. So I was not necessarily worried about at all those shows, the other fans of those bands and stuff like that. Since we didn't have a name like for that kind of fandom, like once that stuff starts happening, you kind of, but there's not fans. There's not a legion of fans that would be, I don't ever want it to be like that. I want it to be a conversation, Pounders, GD peeps. Like I said, I think that's the call. That's how you let other people know. GD peep. People don't want to do that. People know though. That's how, it's there's not enough positive gangs out there. I've said that for years. There's not enough, like, they say a lot of times, like, biker gangs, they don't say we're not a gang, we're a club, or we're an organization. Like, I'd like that too. I'd like that for why can't that be for a podcast or a show, like a live? Why can't radio show, like, again, Opie and Anthony fans are like what are they, ant or no, pests or something like that, something I can't remember, like, you know what I mean, like, there's like, why does it have to be bad? Pounder gang, hell yeah, Pounders for life. Shout out to John and all the Rons, the Casey Nicholsons, and the Kevin Broches. It doesn't rhyme, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, there's there's variations. We know who the Pounders are. See, that's the thing. The Pounders are people who contribute to the flow of conversation. Because that's the thing is, a buddy of mine, and again, a guy that I co-host the show, the guy, hold on, Pat's positive peeping pounding platoon of power. John, the fact that I said that, but you saw my brain shut down as I was reading that and trying to say other words. But my co-host of What About with Andy and Pat, Andy Malafrina, when I first moved to PA, he was one of the first people that I met that had like a podcast, and I was like, I said, and his show was just him often, unless he has a guest, but for the most part, it would be just him. And I'm like, how can you fucking do that? How can you talk by yourself for that? Now I get it more, because maybe it's just trying to like trying to form an opinion on everything from even just a comedic point of view. That's something that, especially when you lose an outlet of like open mics or shows or anything like that, I get it in a pandemic. That's why I said, yeah, let me try to go 2 hours every other day, because this is, if anything, just a comedic exercise. So to say like, oh, you're a fan of, like, you're a contributor to help me with this content and help me flesh out this ideas. This is a hang. This is a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, this is not, I want it to be entertaining. I want to entertain you, but also, like, if entertaining, I don't need you to right before you head to bed, or maybe right as you're waking up. I don't know what time zone the reviewer may be, but to say like, oh, I'm going to pound off now here to say this, like, that's all of it's welcome, sure, but also, like, these are the Pounders. Don't get it mixed up. Pounders are live. Pounders hang out here. That's who if you fucks with this, you're a GDP. But we know who the Pounders are. The Pounders are a platoon. That's the power platoon for sure. Now I'm just getting tongue tied. This is gonna be hard. Again, full sentences. Gotta stop. Take my time. Not sound stupid. Yo, I watched Andy play Cyberpunk for like 2 hours the other day. I spend my time wisely. The Andy's just like the inaccessible. Like, once you get to know Andy and you don't, and you understand, again, the comfortably dumb in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, there's not things we're knowledgeable on for sure. I'm not a complete like vegetable. I'm not. There is some brain waves, but like reading, writing, sounding articulate, not strong suits. I'm not here for that. I'm trying to entertain my buds. I'm trying to make sure everybody's afternoon goes well. That's what I'm here for. I don't get paid for that. Like, what the fuck do I give a shit if I sound stupid? That's the thing. We all spend our time wisely. I'm here. This is a comedic exercise. This is me being here. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that's it. When I understand, like, now, oh, this is it's a way to try to prepare. Have some things that you want to talk about. The reason I'm talking about this, by the way, and that's because John was bringing up a great point in pounding off earlier in the comments, saying like, don't give this guy any clout, just fucking let it roll off your. No, but that's the thing. That's not me. I gotta vent about it. I gotta get it off my chest, and then I can move on. Then I can move on. But the fact that dwell and to say don't dwell on it, no, that's just that you got to be who you are. And that's the thing is, then you will get people that say like, oh yeah, I watched this person play a video game because I just fucks with what they do. I support that shit. You know, we all do at one point or another. We've all done comedy together. We've all done somewhat of performing or some kind of artistic work that we put out there, and it's a vulnerable thing. And not saying that it's not saying that we shouldn't be criticized. I'm not saying that. Like there's definitely things like that. But like the amount of like the amount that you should let it affect you, let that just be however it is, because sometimes that can fuel you. A lot of times that's what it is. Again, that's how I got into the feud with the mailman. The feud that I don't think the mailman ever knew about, that I ended up squashing at Christmas time because I gave him that fat ass tip. I'm a good guy. Manny, I'm a big, good man. Manny is here, one of the co-hosts of the Falls Count Anywhere podcast. Not here, like he's not joining. He was just joining in the live. 100th episode of Falls Count Anywhere. Great. We tried to do a live stream. You were very patient with me and the technical difficulties. It ended up turning out great. It was a lot of fun. Special guest Lemaire Lee. That is on Baby Mermaid Productions on YouTube. Check that out in the playlist. It's a great episode. I'm not going to say who wins. You find out. I think actually I might have said earlier. I don't know though. Who knows? Pound off, you know? But I appreciate everybody that joins the show every day. I appreciate Ian for bringing us potatoes and saving the day. And I appreciate anybody's insight on breakfast and when and where what foods are appropriate, because that was the thing we were talking about holiday food a little bit earlier about like growing up, is traditional all the way great? Do you have the cranberry sauce or this? You get into those conversations every year, but breakfast is a thing that, when is it brunch? Isn't I was always a person that if if you just eat a late breakfast, I always thought I thought brunch was the genuine definition of what brunch was just eating like breakfast foods at 11 o'clock. Like I usually have my brunch at 7-Eleven. It's funny because I try to eat hot dogs at 10. I'm actually the reason why they put those signs up on the hot dog rollers. I'm the reason that they have that. I'm the reason that they say, whoa, these aren't done. Don't eat these yet. These are still cooking, Pat. They actually took my name off a lot of those little things that stop you. They say stop. Yeah. When I first, hold on, we got a premium round pounded off in the comments. When I first switched over to gallery shows, the critique got real fast. Just keep moving forward. You'll be fine, and you'll come out of the other side with more tools to crush your foe. Oh yeah, that's the motivation. Like that's the thing. Is this to me is almost the same feeling of like, oh, I get to like practice what I would say to a heckler, and then I get to say it and know that they don't, and literally know like, oh, you don't put shit out. So like there's no fight here. It's just me going like, oh, fuck you, dude. Like, yeah, it turns out you're just wrong. It's cool. That's fine. Great. Crushing foes is my jam, dude. I love that. It actually was a bit. I tried it a couple times. but that's a genuine feeling. Is I've been faced with that sign on multiple occasions, Casey. That's where the bit came from. Is essentially I felt like I was the reason for those rollers. I felt like I was I would go into 7-Eleven at like, because I'm like, I wake up early, but I still eat. Like I wake up early so I can get that exercise in, and then I eat like shit. So like it kind of just immediately I end my day before it even starts, essentially. So I'll wake up super early and I'll go and I'll go to like jujitsu or something like that. Then I'll take a nice walk and I'll go down to 7-Eleven at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'll go, wait, what gives? Where are the hot dogs? I want to eat 4 hot dogs now. You know what I mean? Crushing foes and stubbing toes. We are the idiot elite pounders. Do you know what I mean? Pounder. Hey, is there like a hand signal? See, again, I like all the aspects of a gang. I like the dancing. I like the crip walk. I like the hand signals, hand signs. I like when they like. I don't know. Are they the ones that do the shoes over the phone wires? I don't know if that's a gang thing or if that's a drug dealing thing. Hearing the laminations of my enemy's women's is my jam. Yeah. I had to say it in the accent because I knew I wasn't going to pronounce it right. But yeah, the shoe thing. I like the shoe thing. They put they tie 2 shoes together and they put it over. They say like, this is the house where you can. I think that's like, right. It's cool. Like, it's like a they do like the whole color scheme. Does somebody have green already? Can we get green? Green's got to be taken at this point. Or is there like a shade? Do they do shades? Is there like fuchsia and stuff like that? Like, can they do like can I do like a maroon? Like, I know bloods, like that's red, right? But like, what about like a nice forest green or something? Our crip walk was just us tripping over our feet. I don't know what. Yeah, on a way to get a hot dog. Exactly. Yeah, it's a very bumpy sidewalk. John's pounding off in the comments hard. I love hot dogs. Okay. You know, GDP. I want to be able to like. I want one GDP or 1 pounder to be somebody that works at a 7-Eleven and to be able to offer free hot dogs to anybody that goes in that day. Just to find out if there's anybody else that listens in that area. You know, that's a really good focus group. I'm going to use hot dogs and faux gang signs. Yeah, I need all those aspects, but not like I don't want like a biker thing. That's fucking dumb. I want like a cool gang, you know, like not like Sons of Anarchy or anything like that. Maybe like Undertaker biker stuff, you know, like where like you only ride a motorcycle when you're being filmed. That kind of thing. Isn't it funny that like with like most NFL players, they have like things in their contract that are like, you can't own a motorcycle. Like that's you're an asset. Like you're an athlete. We need you healthy and not getting into motorcycle accidents. And like their top wrestlers are like, drive this beer truck, drive this fucking motorcycle, drive this fucking ATV out into this crowd of people that that are like 4 feet from you. That's fucking crazy, right? Isn't that nuts? That it's like the exact opposite. Like they're like, no, do that for the show. That's part of that's your job. I've said it a million times. Wrestlers are just stunt men. There's like superhero stunt men. That's all, or stunt people, I guess. Stunt people. I apologize. Don't mean to gender. But I feel like there's a it's that juxtaposition, like that kind of like that. It's weird to say like, because I would have to, I mean, do they get paid around the same? I honestly don't know how well I don't know how it's compared to like actual like other athletes or anything like that. But I would love to. I'm gonna write this down. Actually, I'm gonna remind me to ask Manny or Youngblood about wrestlers' salaries, because that's I'm sure that they don't get paid. Like, but I'm saying like the top, like I think wasn't it Ben Roethlisberger that got into like a motorcycle accident? Actually, Casey, you might know. You're a Steelers fan. Wasn't it Ben Roethlisberger or something like that that got into a motorcycle accident or something like that? And people were like, "What are you fucking doing, you idiot?" Compared 2 football players, 2 NFL. But yeah, that's like if you're a top wrestler, they're like ride the like Stone Cold in my growing up in my youth or whatever. They're like, yeah, you're the one that's we're gonna set on fire. You're the one that we're gonna like have ride a fucking ATV or a motorcycle out to the ring and then around the ring. Yeah, and no helmet. Yeah, exactly. Right. Casey's pounding off. I think that was like it's weird to say not only are we going to have you go endanger yourself, but we're also going to have you do it right near, like just out of eye reach, just out of the reach, really, of the fans. Like there's been so many people that joke about getting burned by motorcycles and stuff like that, and they have like children's hands, like trying to reach as far as they can to touch any part of the Undertaker's. But I don't know why that made me. I have no idea how I got to that. Oh, stuntmen's. They're just every part of their job is reckless. It seems there's ways you can learn to fall, sure, but there's no way to not like compress your spine. At least in football, you're not supposed to compress your spine. In wrestling, a lot of it is the successful way to keep from injuring yourself long term. There is to just kind of compress your spine a little bit each time. But hey, who cares? But hey, what about,
And what about my cataracts?
I feel like I don't even know, there is it like it's that's part of the spectacle for sure, but like, Steve Austin's like driving a beer truck or an SUV or something like that, or SUVs are crazy. Ozzy Osbourne almost died on an SUV or from falling off an SUV, I guess not on an SUV. But is that like an argument of, guns don't kill people, people kill people? Who knows? But it's all about risk reward, I guess. So, like I said, we were talking about what kind of. It's so funny how we end up, this is part of the show. This is why the complete sentences are never a guarantee. Is because it's getting lost in a stream of consciousness. You're drowning in a sea of consciousness here in GDP Live, and I'm here for it, guys. I'm here for that. I'm here for breakfast. A lot of people think that, and I've discussed this with John a couple times and a couple other people, they think that like breakfast for dinner is like, oh, we didn't go shopping, or we didn't, or let's like, oh, I didn't think of anything, let's just do this. There's oftentimes we plan breakfast for dinner and like look forward to it. I feel like I'm reaching a limit now where I have to be getting to a point where my veins aren't good anymore, and I'm probably just packed full of cholesterol. What's going on, Lemaire? I'm packed full of cholesterol and dying for sure. But breakfast for dinner is not just a fucking like a safety net. It's not a thing where like it's not a thing that you need to like. It's not like oh fuck, I guess I'll do this. We plan those nights. Like people plan for lasagna and they get excited like, oh, I love that. I love it when she makes this soup or this whatever the fuck it is. But this was the dynamic that I was talking about. Was breakfast for dinner is breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for lunch is essentially just is brunch, right? Isn't that what brunch is? So, and not saying that you should call it, Brenner or some stupid shit like that, but then that also goes like, well, then are there only certain dishes that you can have for lunch? Like French toast for lunch, is that better than French toast for breakfast first thing in the morning? Yeah, probably. If you're intermittent fasting. But if you go to if you go by the rules of ever have dinner for breakfast, yeah, oh yeah, plenty of time, dude. That's cold pizza, bro, or hot pizza. I've had pizza plenty of times for breakfast. I've had plenty of double cheeseburger for breakfast. I'm talking 6 a.m. steaks. Yes, yeah, dude. I've had the Irishman breakfast after jujitsu. I mean, not 6 a.m. I guess, but like 7. Is that good? 7:30 ish. I come home, cook a nice New York strip steak, a whole can of spinach, and 3 fried eggs that I put on top, or sometimes scrambled if I'm feeling froggy. That's the Irishman breakfast. That's what I call it. Then I sit down and I watch The Irishman as I eat it. It's a weird fucking breakfast. I understand it. But yeah. Why would I have spinach and it's like spinach and steak? I might as well just have like a baked potato at that point. And then then what do you see? It's the same elements. So this is my theory. This is the same theory I have with poutine. I feel every culture, much like an empanada, has a style of poutine. Every culture has their style of empanada. For white people, it's Hot Pockets. For Jamaican people, it's that spicy beef patty that you get, right? That's an empanada. Empanada for Puerto Rican. Do you know what I mean? Like each thing, you have a little meat pocket thing. We all have it. We all have our version of poutine. For Italian people, their version of poutine is way different, but it's just pizza. You have your carb, you have your sauce, and you have your cheese and your other stuff mixed in. It's the same deal. It's just served different. It's the same thing. People talk this bullshit about like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is this bullshit? Those are not debates. Those aren't debates, okay? This is a debate we can have. We can have this debate. Does every culture have a poutine? Yeah, I think so. Does every culture have a empanada? Yeah, pretty sure. We all kind of have our version of rice and beans. Or whatever, like recipes of a dish, but just served curries. A lot of times there's different types of curries for each thing. But then you think about like what is gravy, but just like American curry. What's biscuits and gravy besides our curry dish? That's our curry offering. It's got the spice from the sausage in it. It's got the creaminess. It's got all of those elements, but it's just not. It's the American flavor. It's American cuisine, right? Isn't it biscuits and gravy? I would have to assume. We're more alike than we think. So so why not have something that's basically just kind of breakfast anyway? But you also have some dinner elements. Yeah, sure, why not? Plenty of dinners for breakfast. Yeah. We got premium round pounding off. Is there, if there's a steak in front of me at 6 a.m. and I'm hungry, we're always going to be eating it. But this was the debate was, okay, so we are all in agreement. We're all adults. We can have any meal at any time we want, but the preferred, because of its easiness and its deliciosity, we want to make sure that we have breakfast for it is secured that we can have breakfast for any time of the day and it's allowed. But why do we call it breakfast? Otherwise, you use eggs and other elements of things, but you don't eat just the egg like that. But why not have fried rice for breakfast? Because that's got egg in it. Who knows? Casey's pounding off. Did Dom make a dish from her new cookbook? No, not yet. But she is very excited about one. There's a thing in there. We also just watched a thing about Yorkshire pudding with like sausage or something like that. It looks really cool, but there's a couple things where we actually have to get a new pan for. We have to get a cast iron. So that'll be a birthday gift. I'll get her cast iron pan. And she will be fucking psyched about it. We got a Dutch oven, the real one. I've given her plenty of Dutch ovens, but I got her an actual cast iron Dutch oven, and she's made many a delicious roast in that. So I appreciate her passion for it because she's also good at it. Can you imagine if she fucking loved cooking and she sucked at it? Do you know how much that would suck? She's never really sucked at cooking. She has sucked at baking for sure. There's been a point where it was rough sledding for sure. She was not good at baking, and that's fine. That's all right. Like, hey, I because it turns out I actually found out that I was pretty good at baking. So I always thought you cook, I bake. That's fine. Because I don't mind it. But then she was like, no, I want to get good at it. So she's a person that will, even if she doesn't exactly nail it or love it the first time, she will make those tweaks or things like that. But if she's completely against it, she won't. So she's got a whole book of recipes that she's interested. She was going through it, like saying, "Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Whatever." Blah blah blah. Speaking of poutine, I think there's probably a poutine recipe in there somewhere. So I'm excited about that. But she has she I think has a couple things in mind. I think she dog-eared a couple of pages. So we have done breakfast for dinner. So that's the only thing is preference comes in mind. So where did you got a real one? Hell yeah. Yes, I absolutely did. Yeah. Because that's the thing is that's the weird because I feel weird, especially in this climate, Casey. It's a very interesting thing because they were known as real ones at one time. But nowadays it seems like that might be more insensitive to say, yeah, she cooks, she fucks, she you know what I mean? Like, but like it's really just because we play to each other's strengths. Like she is terribly messy. And that's fine. As far as like cleaning, a lot of times there's a lot to be but that's the thing, not to be desired. I got it. I'll do that part. You do that shit so much and I want to show you my appreciation. I feel like I'm good at this part of it, at least straightening up, keeping it tidy, keeping, at least push the mess back a ways. And then if we're deep cleaning or moving stuff or putting something together or moving a big thing, that's my area. I'm fine with that. That's a good exchange. I get a lot of anxiety if it's just cooking something, if you just go like, Pat, make us some baked chicken and mashed potatoes and stuff like that shit. Yeah, I can do that stuff. I know, the basics, cooking a steak. I can do that shit. Sure. I can make a good dinner, a nice casserole, good shepherd's pie, something like that. Goulash, whatever. Dishes, things like that. Irishman breakfast for dinner. I can nail that. That's the thing. Breakfast for dinner, always a good, you can, as long as you have someone's preference, but I can do sweet, I can do savory, I can do both. I can do French toast, I can do eggs and bacon, I can do whatever it is, whatever you need, I got it. So as long as you have those things, and she also, like I said, it's not that she doesn't clean or can't clean, it's just not one of her strong suits. So, but she's not completely like lacking in that. So you play to each other's strengths. But I feel like saying like when we were talking about the ghost thing, like where would you haunt and all that stuff, and she was saying like, oh, I would haunt our kitchen so I could still cook for you. It makes me feel like, oh shit, that kind of makes me like, not that like I fear what that looks like on me. Of this, like, oh, she's sitting there saying like, oh, I'll just cook for you. What kind of man? How does he treat her? That's how it's one of those things of being so like I feel like even in that episode when we were talking about that, I kind of did that like, that's cool and everything, but like, you can do whatever you want. You can be like an astronaut, you don't have to just cook for me. You can just be a ghost somewhere. I just waffles and chicken or in gravy is a fun dish. Yeah, hell yeah. Waffles with chicken and gravy. That's what it is. Waffles with chicken and gravy. Hell yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's like, and again, a gravy, just American curry. That's okay. We all have our own our versions of whatever it is. So breakfast for dinner. You say chicken and waffles with gravy. So is that gravy for the chicken or is that for no syrup, or do you do syrup with the gravy? Because that's my thing is I don't think I would do sweet breakfast. Not that I like a French toast. I'm a French toast guy. I like waffles. Yeah, sure. I like a chicken and waffle. Sure, yeah. But like is it is it a savory all around dish, or is this more of a thing like that? Because I don't necessarily, I don't know if I don't know if I would want pancakes and sausage and stuff like that for breakfast for dinner. If I'm doing breakfast for dinner, I usually like savory flat out, like a hash browns, steak, eggs, stuff like that. Uh, a savory potato, something like that. She's saying use gravy as syrup. Okay, yeah. See, there you go. Yes, I need a consistent thing like that. I'm weird. It's weird with sweet and salty with me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, my dumb weird palate, or something like undeveloped. But I don't know. I don't love a sweet. I don't want to have like pancakes right before dinner. That's weird. Or not right before dinner. That's your appetizer. You have pancakes for your appetizer, and then you have your dinner, which is steak and eggs. No, I wouldn't want to have but I do get this. I do enjoy this. We'll go to IHOP. We were talking about this. What's your go-to IHOP or Denny's? And Premium Ron, I believe it was Premium Ron that brought that up, pounding off in the comments. IHOP, I love doing that because oftentimes Dom will order a breakfast that comes with pancakes, which is crazy. You get like eggs, bacon, toast, hash browns, like stack all this other shit. And like usually when she gets to the pancakes, which she usually saves for last, she's usually full. So she's like, here, do you want some? I love pancakes I love having I just consider them breakfast dessert. It's wonderful. So when somebody would say like, oh, let's have breakfast for dinner, oh, it's pancakes and whatever, I'd be like, no, you can't just have, that's like double cheating. That's like having cake for dinner and eating it too. You can't do that. You gotta have cake after. You gotta at least have some savory beforehand. Have like some saltines. Have something. Be like, that was my dinner. Now this is dessert. For some reason, that distinction to me is very important. But having the distinction isn't so. I'm not so strict with the rules that I'm like, well, you can't have dessert for breakfast. No, you can have breakfast dessert. That's what syrup is for. You can have pancakes and syrup, or waffles and syrup, and it's weird too because chicken and waffles having the gravy like that. Fuck yeah, dude. Gravy is a great substitute all around for life. Gravy is life. Put that on the pen. That's my merch. Gravy is life. Fuck yeah. I feel like I didn't hit a drink drop. I'm just drinking. Full sentences. Full stop. But I want to have like I would like to I guess what again, if you have breakfast, then you have brunch. Why wouldn't you have Brenner or Brupper? Why not Brupper? Or Brenner or Brupper. It has to be one of those, because if you have breakfast, brunch, and Brenner. I only eat breakfast cereals at night as an occasional snack. Eating Count Chocula in the morning sounds awful. Yeah, actually, that's true too. I oftentimes I've had like cereal as a dessert. Like if we got one of those variety packs of cereal forever ago, and that would be just a nice, like you said, just like that's like one serving. Boom, there you go. Have that. Pour in some milk, and then you have just a sweet thing. Savory breakfast, gang. Hell yeah. But it doesn't mean you can't have breakfast dessert. I love a breakfast dessert. But in that case, it's just the delivery system for the sweet treat. So something like a mix between, like, I like a French toast in that case, because it is almost like it's as sweet as you make it. So if you just put a little bit on there, I like the egg around there. Like it's a weird fucking thing. Like egged bread that's fried in butter. How are you not on board with that? At least a little bit. Then you get your toast. Then that's just the most efficient delivery breakfast ever. Because then you don't have to put syrup on it necessarily, and it still tastes pretty good. You can put some bacon in there. Then you have bacon, eggs, and toast, all in one bite, and not in a sandwich or anything. You just have a little little fold over, or flatbread, or poutine. Breakfast poutine would be awesome. I love a breakfast burrito. I think that's my go-to if I'm gonna do anything in the morning. I think I've had breakfast burritos that rival dinner burritos. Which you don't. Why do you call them breakfast burritos? Why can't you just call? I guess you have to be, but you would just assume any burrito is any burrito before 11 a.m. a breakfast burrito? Because again, we all know the cutoff. No, it's 10:30. Is that McDonald's? Well, now they do breakfast all day. Now there's no holds barred, no rules. Breakfast burritos though are pretty much rock solid anywhere you go. Shit, even Starbucks has some pretty solid breakfast burritos. They have and they call it their wraps, which is weird too. You know, that's probably some kind of issue they have with corporate. They don't want to say burrito, I guess. I don't know why, but they do even have sriracha. Fuck yeah, man. He's pounding off in the comments. Lunch, he says that he knew someone that called the meal between lunch and dinner linner. Also, Manny. Also, this Manny, your pal. Yeah. Little foot man. Hell yeah. Pounding off in the YouTube comments. Linner. So that's lunch. So how would you lunch for dinner? What do you decide? So that's just having a sandwich for dinner? I guess. That's what I would assume. To me, go to lunch is sandwich. So I would assume if you're having a dinner, it would be a lunch. It would be a dinner sandwich. I don't know. Premium rounds pounding off. Timing is the only thing that defines breakfast burrito. Yeah, really. It really has to be, because I've had again, Starbucks has like those they have a bacon and sausage one. Yeah. Yeah, she was dumb as fuck. Well, okay. But I feel like the eggs, you get the cheese, the bacon, stuff like that. You can add as much spice to it as you want. You can add as much whatever, but like any burrito, fuck. Like at this point, any burrito, anytime is good burrito. I don't think we should have to define, but I think the only distinction really is when you put egg in it. If you put egg in a burrito, then it's a breakfast burrito. Because other than that, it's kind of a lot of the same things. You get the salsa, you get some cheese, you get some meat sometimes. I don't know. But I think there's if there's a distinction at all with food and timing like that's, I mean, again, there's not oftentimes, I mean, I can't even say, I started the sentence, I can't even finish the sentence. The fact that yeah, there's been plenty of times where I have like a goulash or a shepherd's pie or a savory dinner meal for breakfast, even heated up, not just cold. Pizza, chicken, whatever was for dinner the night before, especially if it was like an awesome dinner. Yeah, oftentimes the first meal I will have is that meal. So, but I don't, then I'm just having that for breakfast. One man's breakfast is another man's dinner. Thom, it should have been to thom too. But it's Psalm 3.2. Is it 3 point? I don't know. See, Christian boy, John Montag, old Mr. Religious, John Montag, pounded off in the comments as usual. Love you, John. But I think there's a, if you sweet, savory, whatever, whatever your preference may be, there's no wrong time to have breakfast. And I think honestly, if there's anything like so a diner is kind of this idea, but I feel like an idea where you specialize in breakfast items all day, only breakfast items. So like the downfall to a Denny's or an IHOP or something like that is the fact that they have, we have special, like we had somebody, Ian, I think it was Ian Strong, that pounded off in the comments on Friday's show, where we were talking about IHOP never changes. and he brought up the fact of they tried once to change their name to IHOB, and they wanted to specialize in burgers. Now IHOP makes a nice burger, sure, a fine burger, but they're no burger joint. If you just had a place that was only breakfast and not only open for breakfast, but open for all the time, the same diner rules, but only breakfast items all day, and they only specialized in those breakfast items. We got our quiches, we got our breakfasts, we got our omelets, your different types of pastry, French toast, American toast, freedom toast, whatever you want, but nothing like no French fries, no hamburger, no other bullshit. Not even a slam burger, damn it. I love a slam burger. That's the key. Then you don't have to decide. Then it's breakfast all the time. So I don't know. I don't think a savory. I don't think you can ever go wrong with a savory breakfast, but I think there are a couple misses when it's a sweet breakfast. Because much like Premium Ron was pounding off about in the comments, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing, like it's always the first thing I'm putting in my body. That's always the thing that I'm so conscious about, that like the rest of the day could be a complete blur and I'm just eating fucking candy and garbage the rest of the day. I could be like eating literally like a raccoon, and there wouldn't be a change. But it's the first thing a lot of times where I'm like, I don't want to eat a fucking, like, can't be a cheeseburger the first thing. It has to be something else aside from the hot dog. For some reason, it never dawned on me, don't eat a hot dog first thing, stupid. That's not even food, really. But I'm like, oh, it's 10:30. Got to go get my hot dog. Hot dogs. Who knows? But I think Casey's pounding off here. McGriddle is a garbage sandwich. Yeah, I can see that. But have you ever had the steak, egg, and cheese bagel? Holy fuck. That thing is, I honestly, the first word that came to mind, full transparency, guys, divine. That sandwich is fucking, anybody that talks shit about fast food not tasting good, you have not had the steak, egg, and cheese bagel from McDonald's. I will not ever suggest, okay, well, look, I did say that Andy should try a McRib. And he did try it, and he did not like it. So, hey, trial and error, right, baby? Using waffles as a burger bun at 2 a.m. is 4D chess, though. Yeah, I can see that. Premium Round pounding hard in the Instagram comments. Holy shit. Yeah, I could see that. I like that a lot better than the donut burger. I don't like that. Like the 2 glazed donuts with the burger. Come on, man. That's weird. I don't know if I like that. I don't like burger grease on a I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't want to like that. I don't want to know if I like that. I do like how some people, I was still living in Florida at the time when they came up with the KFC ultimate chicken sandwich thing where the buns were chicken patties and they just put bacon in the middle with like sauce, essentially. There was no bun. And the amount of people I genuinely heard explaining how that was actually healthy, it was like, it blew my mind. Oh, there's no bun. It's breaded chicken, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So the donut burger, when I heard about that too, I was kind of like, I can't imagine that that's, I'm sure it's good and I'm sure that's a thing, but I don't like the messy. I don't like thinking about how messy even that is. I don't know why. That's just weird. That's the weirdest thing to be like deterred from eating a food, aside from the obvious caloric haul that you would be taking. But the steak, egg, and cheese bagel from McDonald's, I don't know if that one's available, Pat. And that is the key. I think that's been the key of me not like gaining a ton of weight or being able to lose as much weight as I have, has been like something even like intermittent fasting, where if I'm not even supposed to eat until 12 o'clock, that means that I don't get I don't have the luxury of getting the breakfast. Like you said, I don't like the McGriddle, Casey. I don't like, the McMuffin and stuff like that. And I don't think full breakfast is available all the time. And also I feel like once they do that, if they don't have that switch, they've been like structured their whole existence. McDonald's has since they had breakfast, since they started McDonald's breakfast has been like it's cut off at this time, and then we switch to this menu. At some point we stop frying these and we start frying these. So if they do that, then when you take that away, and then now you have the added thing of like you still have to have produce this amount of this, and then now you're asking them to like keep an eye on like how many sausage McMuffins do you sell around this time, or you're not making things to order. There's weird like then it gets into I don't trust them to have like even diner etiquette of like the people that are cooking there just can kind of figure out how to do like, oh, I'll make you a patty melt, or I'll make you pancakes, or whatever it is. There's like a recipe for it that they're familiar with. I worked in plenty of kitchens that have a set menu, but if you give a fast food place that same menu, I feel like it's going to be a lot worse. It's gonna be. I don't know if any of them know how to make a jus sauce, or they know how to make a hollandaise sauce necessarily, but maybe, who knows? But again, I think that kind of demand is a little bit much. But I don't know. I think if you're someone who is that, to me, that was always a road trip food, was McDonald's breakfast like that. Like I'll still do that even sometimes, if I'm every once in a while, I'll splurge. Hey, we got a long drive, and I want to try to see if I can time this diarrhea perfectly for that first rest stop. I want to get the steak, egg, and cheese, and that's the thing where also I know I can't eat and drive. You can't eat that thing and it's not just like that's the thing where you actually have to like try to focus and not wear half of it a lot of times, because it'll be greasy and saucy. It's just really good. It's the closest thing that to real like diner food that I feel like McDonald's is capable of. Well, I feel like dinner etiquette needs to be the name. Diner etiquette. Yeah. Of your out. Diner etiquette. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I'm down for that. Diner etiquette. I've got that down, up, down, all around. I've got etiquette everywhere. Even when I'm ordering my McGriddle. Not my McGriddle. What did my McRib. In case you got me all messed up on McGriddles. But this is an ever growing conversation. This is something that I didn't even realize that too, to say a blanket statement like that when you say breakfast for dinner. What, like, we don't normally do a sweet breakfast here, but we throw in a French toast every once in a while. We can't just say breakfast for dinner. There is a distinction. Any breakfast for dinner? Are you okay with having Count Chocula for dinner? Or is it a late night snack? Do you have a little dessert cereal? Have a little sweet treat? That's not your dinner. Breakfast for dinner constitute, like, you actually have to pull pans out. You have to actually cook something. Got to warm shit up, at least. But I think breakfast burrito absolutely should be under the umbrella of breakfast for dinner. Why can't you have a breakfast burrito? That'd be incredible. Again, shout out to Starbucks wraps. The Southwest Veggie Wrap is fucking awesome. It's really good. And also, RIP, apparently, from what I found out via Youngblood, shout out again to False Count Anywhere podcast. That's Youngblood. That's Manny. They apparently, from what Youngblood was saying, they don't have the potato taco anymore. We got Manny's pounding off in the YouTube comments. McGriddle's slap. Oh, he apparently is apparently now IG Live crew. You pounders over here, we got a pounder over here in YouTube saying actually McGriddle's slap. So I'm not a fan of them. I don't necessarily love that, but he says 2 pancakes injected with syrup with sausage, egg, and cheese. That's a great breakfast. And I will say that the efficiency of it is incredible. But will you, Manny, will you say that a McGriddle is greater than a breakfast, like let's say the best breakfast burrito you've had? Let's say the same things. Let's say you wrap sausage, egg, and cheese in a pancake that was injected with maple syrup. That's the best breakfast burrito, right? John's pounding off. No, actually, sorry. Premium Ron. I apologize. How did Youngblood and Manny deal with the post-Packy poop? Well, that actually, I don't know. Did they ever go on IG Live? Did you guys ever poop on IG Live? From what Manny was saying, the chip again was apparently this was for some reason this was the funniest thing to me. I love the fact that he was like, "Oh, it's only bad for 20 minutes," and I said, "That's not good." Like to say 20 minutes is a long time to say it was really bad for that long. So, he said he pooped the next day. So apparently it was fine. I'm assuming it was fine. He pooped the next day, but no. I mean, he's typing. I don't think he's in ICU or anything like that. So I think he should be fine. At home McGriddle is delicious. Wow. Okay. You got to deep freeze syrup into little balls, disgusting, and throw them into the batter. All right. I like that. Because then you get the little like orbs of it kind of mixed in. That's really cool. That's weird that's not weird. Of course you know that. Of course you know how to make at-home McGriddles. See, this is why John needs to be at the breakfast party. See, that I was really upset because I thought Ian was going to be here, and that was the whole thing. Were you talking about it was a spicy poop? Okay. All right. So the spicy poop came the next day, Ron. Premium Ron. Manny's poop was spicier than usual the next day. And I wanted to talk to Ian about the breakfast conversation because we were talking about having a breakfast sleepover with or a sleepover with a breakfast finale the next day, the feast. I was going to handle the bacon, I believe. I can't remember which one it was, but we are each going to do a part, but now we can't. And now we could have had John on McGriddles. That's a legitimately great idea, Montag. Absolutely it is. Hey guys, I'm on both chats now. Manny's popping off on both. He's pounding off everywhere. Pounding, he's popping. He's pooping, he's peeping. Speaking of peeping, we have yeah, you can't have sleepover without John the dad. Manny is a hacker man. Speaking of words and everything like that, I feel like this might be the perfect time. I know we weren't speaking of words, by the way. I just wanted to say words of the day because that's what I want to get into. For both of Manny's. It's both Manny's right there. Take that, Manny. Take that, Manny. You're trying to hack my fucking mainframe? Nice try, bud. You get both cameras. There's a spicy poop. All right. So today's word of the day is if I remember correctly, I finished it around Christmas time, so I don't know if it was exactly this or not, but I believe this was what Baby Yoda's name was. The word of the day today, and it's sponsored by the Xmas Spelling Bee that is available now on Instagram. Parts 1, 2, and I believe 3 is going to be out a little bit later on today. I can't remember if I scheduled it or not, but I'm going to post it later on today on Instagram. Parts 1 and 2 here on YouTube if you want to watch it, right on the Gross Domesticated Podcast link. It is it's a very, very fun, very entertaining, and it was very challenging. I want to thank Manny for being involved. I want to thank John for being involved. And I want to thank you for watching it. Like I said, it was all together. The entire night ended up being a little bit under 4 hours, I think around 4 hours. And I condensed all of the best parts down to just under an hour. And you can check that out on here on YouTube or on Instagram at Baby Mermaid Productions. So pound off. And after that, check out some videos. The playlist is there. It's on GDP Live Specials. There's a series there that I started on Instagram. So check that out. And there's also going to be plenty of pictures of little Lord Stanley. I spoke to I called his doctor a little bit earlier today to see if we could start letting him out, because now he's starting to make a break for it. It's harder to keep him back in kitten quarantine now that he's had a taste of freedom and he's officially scanned the entire house. So hopefully we can break little Stanley out of kitten quarantine early. But in the meantime, today's word of the day. This is this is a real one. Like I said, this was, I believe, Baby Yoda's name, but it's spelled GEWGAW. GEW, all one word. GEWGAW. This would be cool. I would love, by the way, I actually may just go back and try to find, like, obviously, even if I make the list, I feel like this is still competitive. Even if I make a list and have all of the word of the days that, like, a Phyllis, what else? Depute. We could have adultication, or no, andragogy. I apologize. Stuff like that, like words like that. Baby Yoda's name is whatever this is. GEWGAW. They have. I feel like there's either way we have. God damn it, Manny! I want to have all those lists, that whole entire list of words of the day, and actually have to, like, spell them. But that's the thing is, now that I know how to say them, like, I don't know if anybody's as smart as I. I feel like the only moderator for that one would have to be Karen. But, who knows if Karen will ever want to step foot in my house again now that I've stolen that gorgeous little kitty cat from her. But I appreciate all you guys being here for the word of the day. Yeah, I don't know. I would either that it's either that Manny's pounding off in the YouTube comments, or it could be Guga. Camptown Races, sing this song. The Guga gay. Right? Hey man, you gay? Yeah, if you use it in a sentence. Manny's thinks the pronunciation is closer to Jugay. So something, if we were to use it in a sentence, hey man, Jugay? I don't know. Could be that. Or it could be Guga. I think it's Guga. I'm going to go Guga. Let's find out. All right. We've got our guesses in. Let's find out here. All right. Here we go. Hold on. Live fart. That was a live fart. Did you guys hear that? Just in case you didn't hear that, it sounded kind of like this. It was a little bit shorter. Shout out to Manny, who loves listening to my farts. I will play it here. I got it pulled up. Here it is.
Guga.
Aha! I was right. Ooh, and this might be a new guy.
Guga.
I'm telling you, this is Baby Yoda. His name is
Guga.
His name is Guga. Give me the saber.
Guga.
Guga. I don't know why that reminds me of the guy from who is that? Gary Oldman. Jesus. Gary Oldman. I actually knew that. Gary Oldman from Hannibal? Was that the one where he's like, Cardell? That sounds like who's doing the Yardell, bring me my soup. Remember that guy? That's what this guy sounds like. Guga, bring me my soup. I just need a little bit of water right here.
Guga.
Let's find out what it means. The pronunciation is GYOO-GAW. I fucking nailed this one, dude. Take that, Thom 2, you bitch. Fucking, who's the dummy now, dude? Me. It's Middle English. That's origin. It's a noun. The time period is unknown. I love that. From time period unknown. It is a showy thing, especially one that is useless or worthless. Jesus. That's kind of like, so it's like so this is like a diss, like you're saying, like one of those things of like, it's super showy. So, but it is useless or it's especially one that is useless or worthless. So, fireworks. It's worthless, right? Well, I mean, I guess there's no, I don't know. That's kind of in the eye of the beholder, right? Let's find out examples of gewgaw in a sentence. Grandpa's collection of gewgaws clashes with grandma's elegant taste. Oh, so like it's like gewgaws. Gewgaws or gewgaws. You guys. My little Todd Bertuzzi figure over here. That's a gewgaw? Is that what that is? That's not flashy though. Is my disc golf game? Is that a gewgaw? I don't think so. I don't know. Do I have is the whole Dobby Robertson Memorial Caddick just filled with gewgaws? Gewgaws. She brought a gewgaw whenever she went to the thrift store. Okay, so why is she buying gewgaws if they're worthless, but they're showy? So again, like I said, showy or like useless or worthless. That's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like that is that's a matter of perspective. So if it's truly a gewgaw is a matter of opinion. So Thom 2's comment was a gewgaw. It was showy, but it was especially useless and it was worthless, really. I mean, it did give me a little bit of content. It got me a little fired up. Got me into breakfast talk. Gewgaw. A worthless thing. I like it. I'll take that one. That's a good word of the day. That's a good way to start out. Gewgaw doesn't roll off the tongue. It's much like a flivver or any of those other words like that, like the other things that don't necessarily, like if you say them, they're not going to catch the ear of the person you're talking to for a good reason. They won't be intrigued by the word you used. They will be disturbed by the word you used. They will be more, and that maybe that's just a matter of opinion. But if you say gewgaw, it doesn't flow necessarily. It doesn't just kind of. So who knows? But I want to thank again everybody that's here watching, pounding off in the comments on Instagram, pounding off in the comments on YouTube. I appreciate everybody that all the pounders. I appreciate all the GD peeps that join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 until 1, or at any time in between. If you ask to join, your audio only will be saved on the YouTube channel, like I said, but then it will be erased from the Instagram. The pounding is fleeting. So if you want to see what people pound off in Instagram Live, follow at Baby Mermaid Productions on Instagram. Look for part 3 of the spelling bee coming out later on today. And also check out the Church of Satire New Year's Eve laugh-a-thon that we're going to be putting on live on New Year's Eve. That's going to be through the Church of Satire Facebook page. So if I sent you an invite, make sure you hit either interested or you're going, so that way you'll receive notifications when we do go live and everything like that, or when the event is coming up. Again, I don't know what people's plans are on New Year's Eve, but we got plenty of pre-taped videos that we're going to be putting together in little packages for you guys, and we'll be hosting it with Jim. We'll be live at the club, and we'll be reading your comments and interacting with you guys live. We'll have the Venmo page up there, so make sure you check out the Church of Satire New Year's Eve laugh-a-thon, and we'll catch you then. But in the meantime, have a great Monday. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great Monday or Wednesday morning before the show. And then once the show starts, I'll take care of that part of your good day on Wednesday. And then have a great rest of your Wednesday too. Get ready to have a great Wednesday. Okay? Just get it in your mind now. Get ready for the new year. No, nothing will change really in 2021, but who gives a fuck? It'll be a different thing. You're going to have something new to complain about. Ah, damn it. I keep writing 2021 or 2020. Whatever. Who cares? I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye.